On this video for Lab 2, Ortho Lab 2, we want to set up the grid and snap again. So we're going to right click on that, hit settings, and we'll go with 3/8 on the snap, 3/4 on the grid. And if you want, you can go ahead and turn the grid on here. So we've got that set up. We've got this front view set up so that it's at 0, 0. For this, we will move this view up. So I'll click on this grip, hit the space bar, turn on the snap, turn off the O snaps, and I'm just going to move it up. Let's go up several more just to get that somewhat close. And I turn my snaps back on. I guess really before I turn my snaps back on, we probably ought to go ahead and move this one over. So we'll get that grip ready. We'll hit the space bar one time to move, and we'll move that over. Let's say right there for now, and we'll turn the O snaps back on, turn the snaps back off. Now we had our dimension style set up on that last file, but we don't have that in here. So note we don't have anything to use on this. So if we go in there and start a new one, and note we only have those two to deal with. So let's go in there, and again we'll call this Dave's continue, and I want this to I'm going to go back to the notes or to the lines, and we'll go with by layer on everything here. 3/8 baseline spacing. We really don't have to worry about that. And we'll go, and basically what that would do is it would automatically set everything to 0.38 on your spacing, but we want to go more than that, so we'll set all these to by layer. We're good there. The offset, I think we did make that 0.1. The symbols, again, I'm going to go with the closed blank on the arrowheads. We do want a center line now. We decided on this. 90 thousandths, again, that's the, if we make this bigger, you'll see that change maybe. Yeah, see how the center line gets bigger based on that. 0.09. Okay. Let's see what else. Anything else here? Arrowhead size is fine. Nothing else there. Text, we do want to use the Tahoma. Regular. Nothing else changed. Let's see, we want 80 thousandths or 80% on that. And we'll set that to the current. Close that. And we'll go and set, well, we set that as the standard by layer. We don't have to worry about the fill color. Text height, we made that 0.156. 25 actually. Centered, everything else is okay. The fit, everything's okay there. Primary units, we want to go 3 decimal places. Suppress the leading zeros on both of these. And then the tolerance is set at none, so everything's okay. We'll set that, click on Dave's, set it as the current, and close it. So now when we start putting in dimensions, everything should be good to go. And if you wanted, you could go in there and go ahead and put, well, let's see, before we put any dimensions in, we probably ought to start on the dimension layer. Actually, in this case, we want to do center lines. And I'm going to go back to annotate, go down to the centers, put in the center mark. Again, pick the biggest circle. Okay, I'll go back to the dimension layer. And then we can start putting in dimensions. Now, the only thing I'm really going to go over with on this one, the differences are the diameters here. We have some symbol callouts, so I wanted to show you those. The rest of the dimensions are pretty much the standard, just like we had been using. So on these, what I want to do is use diameter dimension. And if I pick this Actually, I want to pick the smaller circle, and I want to turn on my snap, and maybe I'll put it out here. Turn off my snap, and now I'm going to double click that text, and it allows me then to put in the 2x space, and again the caps lock on that. Hit the end button, not the home, and then a space, and then the word through. Hit enter, and then I need the counterbore symbol. Now the counterbore symbol, we're going to have to come up here, and I'm going to expand this out again. I guess I can't while I'm in there. There should be, in the symbols here, and there's a counterbore symbol. Now it's not showing up in any of these that are listed here. So what we want is we'll expand this out, and we'll hit other, and now we have different text maps that we can use. So I want to go to the AM GDT right here, and here are all the symbols that we need. So there's a symbol for counterbore right here. We click on that, hit select, and then copy. Minimize that, we'll need it again, and then we'll do a right click and paste, and there's your counterbore symbol. I'm going to hit the backspace key. Now the only problem here is now I'm actually in a different type text font. So counterbore, and then I need a diameter symbol, so I'll go back to the symbols. Actually I should, let's see if I've got that still up here. Right there. And I'll use the diameter symbol. Now the diameter symbol is right here. Select. And actually I guess I should have selected both those at the same time. I'm going to copy that, minimize that. I'm going to go back and backspace one time, Control V or right click, and I'm going to put a space in there. And now we're back to our text, but note my text style that I've got to get here is I need to go back to standard. Okay. And note up, I should have, let me undo that. I'll just insert that again. Space, and let's see, I need to put a space in there, don't I? Okay, and let's go ahead and try typing something in there. 1.625. Notice that is a different text. So what I'll do there is I'll highlight that. Right click. Do I want to right click? Let's see. I don't have an option there to change that. So I'll go back and highlight that again. Go back and see if I can't get that text style like I want it. And it shouldn't be getting all that text. That's my issue that I'm having a trouble here with. And I'll click off of that. Let's zoom in a little closer. Double click that, and I want to highlight that text. Part of my problem is I need to have the whole screen. Okay, so let's double click it, highlight that, and now let's see. On my text, it actually should be the standard, but the problem is then that changes my this text right here, which is AMGDT. So let's I just need to get just that one bit of text, and you can see I can get it from here. That's better. Now we've got it back. So if we change it here, we should be good. Now the only problem here now, it looks like that's a little bit smaller, isn't it? This text is larger, 0.156, and notice this text right here is not 0.156, so we'll make that the same. Then I need a space, and let me go back here just for a second. Well, that needs to be to a depth. So I need the depth symbol, which was also in here. And the depth symbol is right here. So I need to get rid of those two and select copy. And I can Control V. And then the depth on that, let me click off of this again and get it back to where I can see it. The depth is 0.0938. So let's see if we can get it in this time. Now again, my text is ADMDDGDT, so I'll go back to Tahoma. And I want to go to 156 space point 0.0938, and it's good to go. And I'll click off of that, and we're in good shape there now. So let's see if we can get the other hole here. It's this hole right here. So it's a diameter dimension. I'm going to pick the smallest one this time. Turn on my snap. I'll go there. Actually, I probably could have gone over just a little bit more maybe. Hit escape. Turn off my snap. Again, double click. It doesn't have to have anything there, so I'm going to hit the N key, space through, enter. Okay, I'll go back to my symbols that I left up. I didn't get rid of them, so I'm going to backspace here. I want counter bore, which is hiding right here. Select that to a diameter. Probably have a space in there. Select. And I think that's about it. Maybe a space if you want. Select. Oops. Backspace on that. Copy. And I can do a Control V. Right click. I'll backspace one. And I want to go back to my Tahoma. And I want to make sure that it's 156. And type in my 1.625. I don't need the 0. Space. Go back to my symbols. Depth. Get rid of this, and I'll just hit select. Copy. Minimize. Control V. Again, I'll backspace. I'll hit the space key. And go back to my Tahoma. 156. 0.625. Enter. From far side. That means it happens on the bottom, not the top. Okay, now my justification isn't right there compared to this, but that I may not have any control over that. Let's see if we got. Okay, we had justification is right here. We want let's see, top left. Okay, and now that should top left. Yeah, that should have been. Let's go there. Middle left. That's what we should have had for the. Oh, let me see here. Maybe if I highlight the whole thing. Justification, top left. Click that off. It's not going to do it. Don't know why. That should allow that to happen. Should have been top left. And we'll just leave that like it is. I guess we don't have any choice. It's not. Sure looks like it's not. Let's see. Let's try one more thing. Let's go to the properties. And let's see. Oh, nothing here. So we'll minimize that. Nothing there. Lines and arrows. There's really no justification there. Under the text, let's look at that. See if we've got text position vertically is centered. Let's change that to. Oh, not going to let me change it. Interesting. Don't know why that won't let me change that. I'm at a loss for that one, but let's go back and change in the dimension style. See, this is Dave's. Okay, so let's go to the text and vertical. Let's make that or horizontal, excuse me. Yeah, that should be okay like it is. We just have to go with that for now. Let's see, let's do our fit. Nothing really there. Nothing there. So I think we're going to have to live with that for now. The way it looks. So of course I would hit the save button. But that's how you insert those different symbols into this drawing. So otherwise, well, and then I guess if we looked at this dimension where we have the let's go back and put this linear dimension from here to here. Turn on our snap. And if we made it to that position right there, we'll leave the snap on. We'll move this over to the other side. And we'll turn off the snap. Then we'll double click that. We'll hit the N key on the keyboard, enter, all around, and then just click off of it. And again, that's going to be centered vertically. So other than that, then the only thing I would note on this drawing is you probably would want to get rid of all the trailing zeros on these dimensions that don't need them. But otherwise, this drawing should be relatively straightforward, with the exception of this right here, I guess. Let me put this dimension in. And that's just a linear dimension from here to there. Okay, turn my snap back on. Put it right there. Now I want to get that down into that. I'll put it in like so. Now I'm going to turn off my snap. Ortho is already on. So I'll leave it right there. The text is too big for that. Let me zoom in on that a little bit and get that maybe a little closer. Okay, and it's, with my arrowhead size and such, it's not going to let me put that inside there. So I'm going to live with that. Now, if I want to get that, if I want to get those two parentheses around that, if I double click it, I can go ahead and put the parentheses around it just by typing them in. And that takes care of that. That's to say that that's a reference number because it's given here, and it's also given in the call out for that depth. So otherwise, that's the only differences for now. Now, I guess there would be one more difference, and it would be getting these cutting plane lines in. So before I do that, I better hit save. Now, on that, what we'll do, and this might take me a minute, it's been a while, but I do need to load a different line type in. So what I will do is I'll go back to the layer manager, and I'm going to go in and just say that I want to change the center lines, and I want to go to load. And I want the Phantom series. I'll go Phantom, Control button, Phantom 2, Phantom times 2, and I'll load those in. Okay, so I'm not going to use it for the layer, but I am going to put that in. Now, actually, what I can do is take this line and change it, the line type scale. Or the line type, excuse me. And change that now. I do have Phantom listed on here now. And there's Phantom 2. and that is a phantom line. Now what I would do is I want that to go up, and then put a leader on there. So, and again, in Inventor this is automatic, but it's not so automatic here. So let's see, I want to annotate, and this is a leader. Sorry, leaders are over here. And let's go multi-leader, I believe is what we want on this. Okay, that's going to give me something totally different, as you can see. That gives me a balloon. This gives me the balloon. That just aligns the balloons, and this does something else. So this is the one I really want, and I want to go up here. Now let's see, I'm going to turn on my snapback on, and I need to go straight up from that. And actually I may need to go up, and before I put that in, I'm just going to drag that straight up, put it right there. Actually, maybe I wanted to turn the snap on that. Why not? With the exception of the snap won't be lined up. Now that'll work, and I'll take this one and bring it down. Okay, and then we'll go in there, and actually this one maybe I'd be better off going down to there. I had my ortho on, so that made it go straight down. Okay, and now we'll put that leader in. And now we gotta be careful. This I think is going to be backwards. See how that puts the arrow in the wrong direction? But what I can do, I'll turn my ortho on, and I can save this. I'm just going to go straight out and just put a space in there and click off of it. Okay, and that will allow it to just be an empty leader. Okay, now we can take this grip, and let's see, we want to take this, hit the space bar one time and move over there. Now the problem there is that takes us too far. I don't like that. Let's say perpendicular once, and that takes care of that. Now we really need to move that up though, and maybe the best thing to do would be just delete that and do another leader. And let's say reference from this endpoint relative to that minus, let's say 0.75 comma 0, and then just snap to the end there. Now that's kind of okay, but let's take this and go back to the end there. Nope, I need to take this and get it back over there, but it's sure not going to let me do it. Now that obviously won't work. Let's see, hit the space bar one time maybe and move it. There we go. Just move it. Okay, and maybe we don't like that being so long, so we could take this and go relative to that 0.1 comma 0, just something to shorten it up a little bit, although that didn't shorten up much, did it? Say relative 0.25 comma 0. That looks a little better. Now rather than try to recreate that, what I would do is just copy CO, copy this from this end to that end, and I'm done with that. So that takes care of the phantom line. Now the other thing on that phantom line is you might want to click on that, right click and go to properties. Phantom lines, typically the line weight is thicker here, so you might want to go 0.7. Okay, and note that that only does those two features, so we want to do these two features. Properties, line weight 0.7, and that would show up if we hit the line weight. See, I gotta find it right there. can see how that goes thick. And that's what we want on that. Of course, hit the save button. Then we need to get some text in there. Now you can do multi-line text or single line text. We can do a single here. And I'm just going to click a spot. Text height is 0.2. We really want that to be 0.15625 to match the other. The rotation angle is 0, and I'm getting that from this line down here. The text, I just want a capital letter A. And let's see. Be careful, don't hit enter. Just click off of that and hit escape, and you've got your letter A. Then I'll copy that, and I'm just going to eyeball that from here straight down. I've got my ortho on to there. So that takes care of that. And actually that text probably ought to be a little bit taller. So don't click on that, right click, and let's make that text height be 0.25. It should stand out. Okay, and much like before, if we do a match properties, it'll come up. It's not, oh, there it is over here. Match properties, I take this and grab that one, and they're the same now. Now we might want to take this one and move it down just a little bit. Just get it away from that arrowhead. And that takes care of that. Then if we wanted to put the section AA in here, we would just go in and put in some text. Now you can do multi-line text this time maybe. Multi-line, that does a little different. It allows you to put a box in and it'll fit the text in that box. So let's see, now it's showing up as the right size here, so we'll say section A-A, enter, scale 1:1. Whoops, excuse me, 1:1. Click off of that, and it puts the text in. You can move that text around. You can make that box bigger if you needed to get it all in one line. Doesn't much matter. That looks like that's in pretty good spot. So I'll hit the save button. And that's essentially all the differences that you're going to have on this drawing compared to the previous drawing that we did. So I'll stop that video right there.